Hello, Double D here with a Combat Mission After Action report. It's been a while since I last had the time to put together an AAR. Apologies to my subscribers for the absence. And to remedy, I've got some new videos on the way. Some time ago, Fred Rocker of the Few Good Men community started a H2H campaign recreating Operation Market Garden, Monty's attempt to get over the Rhine in September 1944. I have the good fortune to represent Lieutenant General Brian Horrocks, commanding officer of 30 Corps, the British forces tasked with pushing up the highway to Arnhem and linking together the three airborne groups of the US 101st, 82nd and the British and Polish 1st. 30 Corps is a combined force consisting of armour, infantry and various support forces, and I have around 20 deployable groups of divisions, battalions or regiments in the campaign. There are a group of Axis and a group of Allied field commanders, and I'm also taking command of some of the Allied battles myself. You joined the campaign at dusk on the second day, 18th of September. 30 Corps has broken through the German lines at Valkenwaard, and lead elements are in the process of joining up with the 101st US Airborne to clear Eindhoven. There is still heavy German resistance in and around the town, and 30 Corps is already a day behind Monty's original schedule. The tip of the spear pushing north up the main highway is 2nd Armoured Recon and 32nd Guards Infantry Brigade, comprising the 5th Coldstream, 1st Welsh and 3rd Irish Guards Regiments. They've pushed through Eindhoven and are attempting to secure the bridge over Wilhelmina Canal at Son, north of Eindhoven on the main highway route. The 2nd have been in several battles already and have had various victories. However, earlier today the 2nd attempted to push across the canal but were repelled by the 245th Infantry Division commanded by Oberst Rabattatuin 85. In reality it was Oberst Gerhard Kegler, but today the CO is Oberst Rabattatuin. With the 32nd Guards Infantry Division I'm making a second attempt to secure the canal before the night draws in. My force consists of two motorised rifle companies, the 95th under command of Major Davidson and the 97th under command of Major White. The support company is commanded by Major Doty, with Lieutenant Farris commanding the four 57mm AT guns and Lieutenant McKindy on the map with 81mm mortar contingent. Overall command is with Lieutenant Colonel Bond. Each company has 3 platoons, 2 are full platoons and 1 is just a rifle team. The platoon sergeants have a Sten SMG, with the rest of the platoon comprising Lee Enfield rifles and 1 Bren. I have no MMGs or HMGs other than 1 50 cal in a command half-track. The German 245th squads are likely to have 2 MMGs, so I have to assume my firepower is less than the defensive force, and in the previous engagement the 245th also had on-map mortars, so I'm also assuming a support company including MMGs and HMGs on the opposition side. I'm familiar with the terrain from the earlier battle, and the 245th CO is the same as the previous battle. As with large parts of the Netherlands, the AO is flat, much of the land is below sea level, with dikes and canal banks providing small pockets of defensive defilade. The main highway and a rail track cut through the battlefield on elevated terrain. This seems to be my only positive. It provides some hard cover between the left and right flanks and dissects his defence. The area on my left of the road has the smallest defensive line and has the shortest distance to hard cover after the bridge. I have little choice but to make this my primary attack route and aim for the hard cover of the bridge house. There are several strong natural defensive areas, shallow ditches perpendicular to my attacking direction, and also hedge boundaries providing good concealment. I see excellent open terrain for defensive fields of fire, and there is little to no hard cover for an attack. The 2 bridge exits are also exposed to the defenders. There is a slightly elevated area on the south side of the canal. I'm using that to place 2 of my AT guns, covering some of the farmhouses but exposed with only long grass for concealment. My plan is pretty simple. The red lines show potential areas of defence. The orange are my firebase for the AT and on the left for the mortars, and then the blue lines are my plan of attack. I shall feint on the right with some smoke and troop movements. I'll attempt to create a firebase on the left canal bank and lay smoke to conceal my attack from the defence forces on my right flank. And unless the 245th Defence Force is seriously under strength, this is going to be a messy attack. In my previous battle with Ratatouille in 85, he was extremely effective at placing his defensive forces and in the use of delayed mortar fire. I'm going to resist my usual aggressive start and give plenty of time to recon his defences and try to prevent walking onto any pre-planned mortar fires.
Keep moving! Go, go, go!
My scouts push out on my left and my right flanks as we start the battle. The bunker is spotted with an excellent overview of the bridge on my right flank. Minutes into the battle, I call in smoke and an artillery mortar barrage on the bridge on the left flank. I'm seeing very little defensive fire, the odd squad MMG, and little else. I bring up my assault force and to set up a firebase on the left canal bank. It's fairly limited, comprising a platoon from one of the companies. I've broken most of the assault squads into an assault group and a support Bren group. The Bren group will stay this side of the canal to lay down opposite fire where possible. The assault groups will go over the bridge to try and secure a foothold. The assault teams build up on the bridge and prepare to go into the smoke. We're taking limited casualties in this moment. The firebase lays down suppressive fire. I have no MGs, so this is God's own Lee Enfield and Sergeant Brett. I have one company and a platoon from the second company of the assault, and two other platoons. One is holding the bridge on the right flank, the second is in reserve. Battle assessment, 21 minutes into the engagement. The situation has quickly intensified and Jerry has a strong force in defilade just on the far side of the bridge. The teams assaulting the bridge are under HE fire. Initially I thought from the concealed cap on my right flank, where I'm laying smoke in HE. As my opponent CO brings more defensive forces into the battle, I re-evaluate the situation and reassess my plan. With the bunker covering the secondary bridge on my right flank, I'm never going to win fire superiority in this area. Conclusion, I should continue to target my primary bridge on my left flank. My assault plan was based upon the attacking teams quickly securing a foothold on the east side of the bridge, and more importantly, the hard cover provided by the buildings. With heavy defences and now a second concealed pack, the attack has stalled on the bridge and is now under heavy fire. Conclusion: I risk isolating my assault force on the east side. They could quickly panic and break, potentially impacting their fellow sections in the platoon. My suppressive fire elements are actually in a stronger position than I initially thought. On the west side of the bank, looking down into Jerry's defensive positions, they're almost in a hold down type position. Conclusion: I need to leverage this position. My barrage and my smoke provided cover, but it was short-lived. We're consuming all of my smoke, which means I won't have any reserves for further combat. Final assessment. I'll continue to attack the left flank. Rather than push the bridge crossing, my priority shifts to gaining fire superiority from the west canal bank. I shall withdraw the assaulting teams and move them back onto the left flank bank on the west side of the canal. My opponent has a number of MGs and is generally equipped with more firepower per squad, but my regiment is well stocked with ammo and still keen. I've seen no enemy direct or indirect arty or mortar fire as of yet. For the moment, his primary strength is MG firepower and concealment. I plan to bring all of my 81mm and 51mm mortars into direct line of sight of the defenders. I shall attempt to fix the defence in their locations and pit Jerry 7.92 against British high explosives. Unless I can secure fire superiority from the bank, I won't try re-assaulting the bridge. For the next few minutes, I'll just let you watch as the battle unfurls.
impossible to assess the enemy casualties, but I appear to have gained fire superiority. The second assault wave goes in an attempt to secure the bridge house. The objective is heavily defended. The fighting at close quarters is vicious. The rest of the company pushes across the bridge. Taking heavy casualties, and this is going to be my only opportunity to assault the objective. After several minutes of heavy fighting, guards secure the objective, the bridge house. I set up a firebase in the buildings and start to reorganize these sections. After recovering for a few minutes, I then push forward. Difficult to assess the strength of my opponent. I advance using heavy suppression fire. Despite the heavy losses and under fire, the guards remain cohesive. Sections leapfrog forward using a platoon attack. Guards use the last of their smoke to assist in the attack. We're really starting to gain momentum now. And we secure the first of 2 prisoners. The lead team secure the objective at the far end of the highway. Meanwhile, the rest of the company clear out any stragglers and protect our flanks. So, as the battle closes, we see an overview of where the guards are, securing all of the objectives on my left flank and also the bridge on the right flank. I didn't have enough time or forces to secure the final objective. So we end with a British Army major victory. Whilst I've secured enough victory locations, I have suffered heavy casualties. I had the stronger force, and absolute casualties were about the same either side. Quick review of the map. You can see the disposition of most of the Allied and German forces. I've secured all of the objectives on the main highway, but it's come at a heavy cost. Killing ground at the end of the bridge, maybe a company, a lot of casualties. The guards are at the tip of the spear and currently out of supply, so I'll have to see how that influences the rest of the campaign. I want to thank Vatatuin85. This was one of the hardest, if not the hardest, battle I've had in Combat Mission, and I hope you enjoyed the video. See you again soon.